The Battle of Al-Tabqa Air Base refers to a series of clashes between the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant and the Syrian Arab Army in August 2014. During the Syrian Civil War battle, around the 10th of August 2014, ISIL started to continuously attack Tabqa Air Base. On the 17th of August, the Syrian Air Force launched 26 airstrikes on Raqqa city and around Al-Tabqa, killing at least 31 ISIL fighters and wounding dozens. At least 8 civilians were also killed and 10 wounded. At the same time, the army also launched an equal number of airstrikes in Deir ez-Zor against ISIL positions, bringing the total number of airstrikes to 40. The following day, the Syrian Air Force launched another 20 airstrikes against ISIS positions, one of which destroyed the Raqqa city water plant, cutting off water supply to the city. According to Kuwaiti reporter Elijah J. Magnia, the Syrian Air Force used guided missiles following U.S. intel on ISIS gatherings. According to an anonymous source, the U.S. and an unidentified Western country provided the Syrian military with lists of ISIS targets acquired through drone intelligence. Meanwhile, the army sent reinforcements to Tabqa Air Base and strengthened its fortifications inside the base. It also supplied its garrison with large quantities of ammunition and food. On the night of the 19th of August, the heaviest fighting yet occurred at Tabqa Air Base, which involved medium and heavy weaponry, as well as 15 government air raids around Tabqa. ISIL had captured a string of nearby villages in the days before the attack, tightening its siege on the base. The assault started with a double suicide bombing near the entrance to the base, followed by a large-scale ground assault that consisted of 200 fighters, half of which were foreigners. The next morning, fighting subsided after the first assault wave failed to breach the base, but a second wave was launched in the afternoon. ISIL fighters encountered a minefield, heavy shelling and airstrikes throughout the assaults. The mines were reportedly planted as part of an ambush set up by Syrian Army Special Forces based on previous observation of ISIS troop movements in the area. The fighting for the base continued until the morning of the 22nd of August, as ISIS managed to capture the Al-Tayyara checkpoint near the air base, but failed to break into the base itself. The base was reinforced with additional troops by plane overnight while there were still clashes. The SOHR reported that no more than 70 ISIS fighters were killed in the previous 2 days, since the attack on the base started, and denied other reported death tolls. According to the Beirut-based Al Mayadeen TV, over 150 ISIS fighters were killed in the ambush near the base, while the Al-Masdar news site reported more than 200 ISIS fighters being killed in the previous 2 days, including the ISIS field commander Umar Abdulrahman, a Tunisian. According to Al-Masdar, 14 soldiers were killed and 29 others wounded between 18 and the 22nd of August. On the evening of the 22nd of August, ISIL launched a third attempt to breach the base, after militant reinforcements arrived, starting with a suicide bombing against the airport gate. The attack was repelled, while airstrikes also hit ISIS positions in the nearby city of Tabqa. According to Al-Masdar, a Syrian army brigade later captured the M42 highway leading to the city of Salamiyya in Hama Governorate and ended the ISIS siege on the Tabqa air base. On the 24th of August, ISIS fighters breached Tabqa and took control over large parts of the airbase. This attack occurred when the army was already retreating from the base to the Ithria area, leaving a small garrison behind. The base was eventually captured that day. According to Elijah J. Magnia, ISIS destroyed a MiG-21 fighter jet, while 15 other MiG-21s and all helicopters were evacuated from the base. The SOHR also confirmed all military aircraft was evacuated from the base during the retreat. while according to Charles Lister, ISIS captured a number of MiG-21Bs, SAR-16, MANPADS and Atoll missiles in the base, but noted that it was unclear whether the MiG-21Bs were at all operational. In the final assault, 170 soldiers were killed, while since the start of the battle 346 ISIS fighters and 195 soldiers had been killed. The number of dead soldiers was later updated to 200. Another 150 soldiers were reportedly captured, while 700 soldiers managed to retreat. The next day, jet fighters launched 7 airstrikes on the surroundings of the airbase. According to the SOHR, ISIS captured the Al-Adrawai farm nearby. It also reported that the ISIS prevented vehicles entering and leaving Urutseg province in fear of Syrian soldiers being transported out of the province. On the 27th of August, ISIS captured more than 20 soldiers in the farmlands of Tabqa, while 27 soldiers and 8 ISIS fighters were killed in fighting at the Attribution checkpoint in eastern Hama countryside. 60 soldiers who were hiding near the Attribution area managed to reach Salamiya. On the 28th of August, Syrian fighter jets launched a precise attack on an IS HQ in the city of Mohassan. During a meeting between military leaders and Sharia judges, the attack resulted in the death of most leaders inside, while others were wounded. Another airstrike occurred the same day against an IS camp near Bath Dam, killing and wounding dozens of insurgents. According to SOHR, ISIS executed at least 160 Syrian soldiers captured at the airbase between 27 and the 28th of August. Joseph Adams at Syria Direct identified the execution site 300 meters northeast of Marmal al-Khamid, approximately 5 kilometers east of Raqqa.